The time is precisely 1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Chandima Virakon. Headlines. 1,914 COVID cases have been reported from the country during the past 24 hours. Several Grama Niladhari divisions in 4 districts have been isolated. The President arrived at Parliament today. The National Blood Purification Centre requests the public to donate blood. Stern action will be taken on persons who violate quarantine rules. US President aims to expand vaccines for adults and children. Local stories in detail. The Epidemiology Unit has announced that 1,914 COVID-infected persons have been reported during the last 24 hours. Therefore, the overall infected persons in the country has increased up to 115,500. The National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreak says some 12 Grama Niladhari divisions in Colombo, Gampaha, Ratnapura and Vaunia districts have been brought under isolation with immediate effect. They said Pamunuwa, Honnantara, Jaltara Grama Niladhari divisions in Colombo, Kuttivila Grama Niladhari division in Gampaha, Pallegama, Udagama, Newtown, Walalgoda, Sudugala, Panamura, Rathgama, Grama Niladhari divisions in Ratnapura and Kurukkal Puttukulam in Vaunia district have been isolated. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that a circular has been issued to all police stations to arrest, under the Quarantine Act, all those attend, conduct, organize or assist to facilitate conferences, parties, indoor and outdoor events and shows. 173 persons who violate quarantine rules have been taken into custody during the last 24 hours. He told the SLBC that 5,248 persons have been taken into custody who violated quarantine rules since 30th of October. Special operations are being conducted to nab such persons further. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has arrived in Parliament this morning. The adjournment debate on the current COVID-19 situation in the country is now being taken up in the House for the second consecutive day. The Committee on Parliamentary Business, chaired by Speaker Mahindayapa Abeyewardena, yesterday decided not to hold the debate on the Colombo Port City Economic Commission Bill today, as Parliament is yet to receive the determination of the Supreme Court pertaining to the petitions filed against the bill. Instead, the committee decided to take up the adjournment debate on the pandemic situation from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. without a lunch break. Minister Dr. Sarath Weerasekara, participating in the debate, said that the police is always dedicated for the safety of the people. The Corona Operational Centre has been set up at the police headquarters. He also said that the armed forces are taking maximum efforts to prevent the spread of COVID-19 virus. He further said that the opposition is trying to obstruct the investigations of the Easter Sunday attack. He also said in Parliament, some groups representing Parliament is trying to betray the nation and the armed forces. There was a hot situation due to the mediation of Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca against it. Director of the National Blood Purification Centre, Dr. Lakshman Edrasinghe, said that the quantity of blood reserve has been decreased due to travel restrictions imposed owing to the spread of coronavirus. He said at a media briefing held in Colombo today that usually 1,200 blood units are needed per day. At least 800 units of blood should be received per day. He requested the public to donate blood by visiting the National Blood Purification Centre in Narayanpeta, Colombo, as soon as possible. Nuwara Eliya District Secretary Nandana Galaboda told the SLBC that a relief program will be implemented for the families who are living in the isolation areas and where the travel restrictions are being imposed in Nuwara Eliya. Travel restrictions have been imposed in several areas in the Nuwara Eliya district. He said more than 2,000 persons have been infected by the virus in the district. Minister of Labour Nimal Siripala de Silva has emphasised that if any institution has to be closed down due to the coronavirus situation, employees will be allowed to seek compensation under the Termination of Employment Act. He told the media briefing held at this ministry yesterday that 15,000 jobs had been lost due to the corona pandemic. To end the local news, the headlines again. 1,914 COVID cases have been reported from the country during the past 24 hours. Several Grama-Niladhari divisions in 4 districts have been isolated. The President arrived at Parliament today. The National Blood Purification Centre requests the public to donate blood. Stern action will be taken on persons who violate quarantine rules. That ends the local news.
Receive early cash advances and an unmatchable bonus at maturity from Sri Lanka Insurance Early Cash.
Finished? You have 1 more hour to write the exam.
Yes, sir. Always early.
Receive early cash advances and an unmatchable bonus at maturity from Sri Lanka Insurance Early Cash.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vedha Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
On the main news story, dengue eradication program will be implemented from today in Galle, Colombo and Kalutara districts. Director of the National Dengue Eradication Unit, Specialist Dr. Aruna Jayasekara told the SLBC that there is a severe risk of dengue menace spreading rapidly due to the current weather pattern. During this period of the year, around 6,000 dengue patients have been reported. That ends the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On Watchlight, National Copyright Competition will be conducted in Sinhala, Tamil and English medium by the Cultural Affairs Ministry. Copyrights can be submitted relevant to novels, short stories, children's stories, literature, history, cultural and drama artistic fields. The aim of this program is to encourage the persons who are engaged in lyrics and writers. Accepting creations has been extended to the 31st of this month, which was a deadline declared on 30th of April. Further details can be obtained by dialing 0112 882 667. That ends Watchlight. Moving on to world news, the headlines. US President aims to expand vaccines for adults and children. G7 foreign ministers discuss regional issues. COVID cases at Everest Base Camp raise fears of serious outbreak. President Joe Biden has laid out plans to vaccinate 70% of U.S. adults by 4th July and roll out the shots for 12 to 15-year-olds as soon as possible. Mr. Biden's new goal includes having 160 million adults fully vaccinated by Independence Day. The target is well within reach given that 105 million have already had COVID-19 jabs and the U.S. is vaccinating nearly 1 million adults per day. But the vaccination rate is half of what it was just 3 weeks ago. Mr. Biden said his administration was working to win over doubters about the shots. Japan's foreign minister has voiced concern over China's attempts to change the status quo in the East China and South China Seas and the human rights situation in the Xinjiang Uyghur autonomous region. Foreign Minister Motegi Toshimitsu expressed the views during the second day of the group of 7 foreign ministers meeting in London yesterday. The ministers discussed regional issues. He said he was seriously concerned about China's enforcement of a new maritime police law and about Beijing's continued and escalating attempts to unilaterally change the status quo in the East China and South China Seas. Mountaineers and authorities at Everest Base Camp in Nepal have told the BBC they are seeing rising numbers of climbers with COVID-19 symptoms and rising numbers of positive tests, raising fears of a serious outbreak. Base camp officials said they had received reports of 17 confirmed cases from hospitals in the capital, Kathmandu, where a number of climbers have been sent from the base camp and higher camps to be treated. To end the world news, the headlines again. US President aims to expand vaccines for adults and children. G7 foreign ministers discuss regional issues. COVID cases at Everest Base Camp raise fears of serious outbreak. That ends world news. We move on to development news. More attention has been focused to expand new investment opportunities relevant to tourism sector in the country, according to the policy statement of the Saubhagya Dakma program. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that this program will be implemented further amidst the COVID pandemic situation. New investment relations unit have also been set up in order to increase the investment process. That ends development news.
Sports news is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
And on sports news, it has been decided to conduct all matches of the Pakistan Super League cricket tournament in Karachi. The tournament has been postponed until the month of June due to the spread of corona pandemic. Several players and staff members have been infected by the virus. Cricket South Africa has confirmed that the Proteas will be touring Ireland in a historic full limited overs series for the first time in July 2021. The matches will be played from July 11th to 25th, starting from 3 one-day internationals that will be part of ICC's Cricket World Cup Super League and followed by 3 T20 internationals. Asian Boxing Championship tournament will be held in United Arab Emirates. The tournament will be held from 22nd to 31st of this month in New Delhi at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Playground. It has been decided to conduct the tournament in UAE due to the spread of coronavirus in India. That ends sports news.
My wife always sets a full lunch table even if it's just the 2 of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
And on business news, 54 new investment proposals related to the tourism sector with a total value of $879 million had been received in the past 1.5 years despite the COVID-19 pandemic, Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said. Out of those proposals, 29 projects with a total of $188 million investment have been already granted approval by the Tourism Development Authority, he said. That ends business news.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And on economic news, the second stage of providing relief packages of essential food items through Sotosa outlets is being implemented successfully. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that this relief package will also be given to people who are in isolated areas. That ends economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And finally, on the weather report, the Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur over most parts of the island during the evening or at night. Showers can occur over Eastern Province and in Hambantota district during the morning. Fairly heavy rainfalls above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in Sabragamur, Central, Western, Uva, Northwestern and Southern provinces. That ends the weather report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And to end this bulletin of news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, here are the headlines again. 1,914 COVID cases have been reported from the country during the past 24 hours. Several Grama Niladhari divisions in 4 districts have been isolated. The President arrived at Parliament today. The National Blood Purification Centre requests the public to donate blood. Stern action will be taken on persons who violate quarantine rules. US President aims to expand vaccines for adults and children. With that, we end this bulletin of news. Over to Niranjan Abesundara to keep you entertained.